Hello, Cynthia Alby here. I wanted to show you a little bit about how to create what would be called a generative textbook. A regular print textbook, well, even if it's an e-book, it's the same for everyone, right? Page 22 looks the same for every student. And the problem with that is that the student can't help the textbook help them. The textbook isn't designed to become personalized to the student. So one student might be having trouble understanding X, another might be having trouble understanding Y. Um, a generative textbook generated by AI helps solve that problem. It personalizes the learning to the individual. So I'm going to show you what that means right now. So I'm going to start by showing you kind of where I am and what this looks like. And then I'll show you where I got the prompt and how you can get the prompt. So I'm here in Copilot. This is copilot.microsoft.com. At least right now, it's your best bet because it's free and it's GPT-4 and it's just got a lot going for it. So it should be that all you do is go to this website and you can start working. You may need to log in. I'm already logged in. And you'll see that I have something down here towards the bottom that says your personal and company data are protected in this chat. That's something that my university provides. And if you use, for example, university credentials to get in, you may see that as well. I'm not sure. So I'm going to show you what I entered. Something you can't see is that when I'm getting ready to put a prompt in, Copilot will ask me if I want it to be creative, balanced, or precise. Just never use balanced. Just take that out. I use creative when I'm trying to generate possible titles for a presentation or other things like that. For a generative textbook, for any kind of textbook, you want precision. So I'll tell you that I clicked precise before I put in this this generative textbook prompt. So here's what I entered. I am a graduate student who is new to the study of the work of Stephen Krashen. Teach his acquisition learning distinction to me with simple explanations, helpful examples, and analogies. So in that first sentence, you could replace graduate student with undergraduate student or high school student, and you could change Stephen Krashen to, the structure of a cell, whatever topic you want and whatever level student you want. You can just change that. And then notice that I went a little deeper and specified that I wanted to learn about his acquisition learning distinction. And again, that's something you'd want to change to whatever specific thing within the study you want to have students look at. And then the rest of this would be the same regardless. It says, when you are done, ask me, which part of this would you like explained in more detail? And I must ask at least one follow-up question. After you have answered my follow-up question, ask me if I have further questions or if I'm ready for a practice question. The practice question should require me to go beyond just simple recall from our discussion so far. After I have answered the question, please give me feedback on my answer. So that's what I put in. That's what I asked my students to put in. And then you'll see that it explained Stephen Krashen's acquisition learning distinction to me. It gave me citations, so I could go take a closer look anywhere I wanted to. And here you can see the explanation. Feel free to pause if you want something to look at in more detail. And then you'll notice at the very end, it says, which part of this would you like explained in more detail? Because remember, I asked it to do that. So I said, this is the part I wanted more detail on. I said, so is focusing too much on grammar problematic? Because that's kind of what I got out of reading the AI's explanation. And then it talks to me about that piece in more detail. And then it asks, do you have further questions or are you ready for a practice question? And I could go either way, depending on if I felt like I was getting it or not. And I said, I'm ready for a practice question. I stopped there, but if I kept going, it would have given me, well, actually, it did. Here is my practice question. So you can take a look at that. But that's where I stopped. But if I had answered the practice question, it would then have given me feedback on my answer. So isn't that interesting how it can tailor itself to my needs? And I love that it is requiring me to ask and answer questions as opposed to just passively reading. And you could tweak this to, take it in all kinds of different directions. I would use this in two ways. I would teach students just generally how to use a prompt like this. So no matter what class they're in, no matter when, anytime they need more help understanding something, they could use this prompt. Or I could use it as a teacher by creating the prompt for the student and just giving it to them and having them have at it. I think both of those are really great ways to use this. A couple important little points. I would not use this for any topic that is just has a lot of nuance to it, is difficult to understand, where there wouldn't be a lot of good websites for it to draw from. This is better for broader, less controversial types of contexts. You can add to the prompt at the very beginning. You could say, please draw from this website and this website. And you can put in specific websites that you want it to draw from if you're concerned about what it is drawing from. Although I can see in this case that it was drawing from what I would consider reputable sources. So those are the main things that you need to know to use this. Now let me show you where I got the prompt that I was using. This is my website, learningthatmatters.weebly.com. You have to put the Weebly in because someone else already had the site Learning That Matters. This is the website for my book. And if you click on resources, at the very top, at least right now, this could change in the future, I've got the GPT related resources. And the very first one is called Cut and Paste AI Prompts for Teaching. You also might be interested in this curated resource list. I work really hard to make sure that only maybe 1 out of every 20 things I look at feels like it's good enough to go on the list. So I try to make that the very best of the information about AI, and it's broken down into categories so you can find exactly what you want. So cut and paste prompts for teaching. I'm going to go there. And there's some introductory information at the top, some resources. But as you scroll down, you'll start to see all kinds of prompts that are pre-written for you. I'm going to focus here on making teaching easier. And specifically on, here is the generative textbook. I click, and then you can see it kind of gives me a place to go. And so I have to click again on that, and it takes me to that part of this document because it's a really long document. And here is a little overview of the generative textbook, and here's the prompt. So all you do is copy this, paste it into Copilot. Let's try that. Here I am copying it. So here I am back in Copilot, and I clicked this button over here to start a fresh screen so you could see this from scratch. Here you can now see my choices: creative, balanced, more precise. I'm putting in more precise. I just copied that prompt from the cut and paste prompt list, and I'm putting it in. And from here, I just changed the level of the student, the subject, the topic. Um, in this particular prompt, I also added this sentence: when it makes sense, connect the new information to one of my interests or future career, which includes, and students could fill that in. You could leave that out if you wanted to. You might, as I said, replace it with, please draw from this website or these websites, and put in the links. But see how I just copied and pasted the prompt in, and now I'm ready to go. I can just hit click and I am good to go. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you try out the generative textbook concept, and feel free to use and share anything from my website.